Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Curse of Monkey Island. Let's continue. So we're going to talk to this ghost bride. Because this is a point-and-click adventure game from LucasArts, we really have no reason to be afraid, so we might as well just jump right in.
It's a ghost in a bride's gown.
That is part of the
She looks very sad
danger of these types of games, is that they probably should have had half of the LucasArts games have some ways in which you could have died, particularly when you have an autosave system. That being said, the autosave system in the Scum virtual machine emulator that is running these old games probably did not exist in the original versions of the game, so people would have had to manually save. I guess we could try and push her.
Hello there.
It's more of a skeleton slash ghost. Go into the light. Hey, nice ring. I don't see a ring at all.
Hey, nice ring.
Oh,
Was it something I said?
I hate this ring. It's been passed down from mother to daughter in the Good Soup family for generations. It was to be my wedding ring until that evil pirate stole the diamond and left me.
So we need the band and the diamond.
Broken heart.
Let's see. I guess we just are gonna have to go through all of these, or we should at least.
Who are you and what are you doing here?
I like this animations of the angel girls on the side, but I don't know if they really play a good thematic reason to exist.
What happened?
I was the belle of Blood Island.
They seem like they're just something somebody spent too much animation, too much effort drawing.
But all my suitors bored me to tears. I wanted someone dangerous. I wanted a pirate.
Am I gonna marry her?
What do you do for a living?
Flooring inspector.
Oh. Then one day, a real pirate sailed his ship into the bay. I fell for him instantly.
It'd be funny if this is LeChuck.
But he left me standing at the altar, and I died of a broken heart.
This would be funny if we got her back together with Ghost Pirate LeChuck. And then that was the happy ending of the third game to kind of combat the kind of not happy ending of the second game.
Go into the light.
If only it were that easy. I'm afraid I can never leave this crypt until I marry.
Interesting.
Are you attached?
You bet.
What a shame. You sure have pretty eyes.
Oh.
So, I guess this is our main goal, is to find the diamond.
Where's the diamond for your
But
ring?
we have to get the
It's
band
gone.
also.
He took it.
Who took it?
My love, my honey cakes, my widow schnoo bombs, my LeChuck.
It was
LeChuck
LeChuck.
is your schnoobums?
He pried the diamond from its satin during the rehearsal dinner. Oh, what a fool I was. He told me he was taking it out to get some fresh air.
So it's kind of funny that LeChuck ended up with 2 giant diamond rings over his lifetime.
Where did LeChuck take the diamond?
Cad, the fiend. He sold it to the smugglers of Skull Island. It's just so humiliating. I could just die.
Since you're not using it, can I have your engagement band?
This ring
might as
will
well
remain
ask.
on my finger until I have a wedding band to replace it.
Okay.
How do I get out of this crypt?
There's no way out of this crypt for either of us. I must haunt this lonely tomb until I've married a man I truly love. And you can't leave because the door's locked.
This is just a shade too creepy for me. I'm leaving.
So yeah, a lot of drawing here. A lot of effort to draw these two characters when, by the looks of it, they won't play any role whatsoever in any of the point and clicking puzzling. So you could have just not drawn them, and then that would have been more focus on the memorial wreath and the coffin and just the pirate lady herself, or the ghost lady.
Done. No. Morbid.
So we'll walk this direction and see what's over here. There's a crowbar, and there's a crack in the wall. Here you have some more angels.
It's vegetable soup with raisins.
This is going to be so cool.
We're getting some kind of sounds from some other character.
Die!
Oh,
It's Murray.
I'm not going to do that again. I think I broke my skull. I'm all skull.
It's your own fault. Stop scaring me like that.
So I did scare you? Really?
Well,
Murray looks like he's green now instead of
in a
white.
terrified kind of way.
Well, he was white earlier before.
Don't talk down to me.
I really don't have any choice.
I saw you get out of that crypt. Does this mean that you're dead?
No,
Maybe this isn't Murray.
Darn. I thought together we could walk among the living and spawn a new wave of terror throughout the Caribbean.
So what you're saying is that you only love me for my legs.
Something like that.
Looks like minestrone, delicately seasoned with cobwebs and mouse knuckles.
Yeah, this is Murray.
Hey.
Alright, so we took Murray.
Good soup is food.
And let's see if we can pick up the coffin lid.
No.
Let's look through the crack. So the crack does bring us this direction, and there's a LeChuck mask and some trophies and some posters and Mort's novel. See if
It
we
looks
can
like
read
he's
it.
writing a horror novel. It's called The Grog That Drank People, part 1 of a 3-book cycle. I wonder why trashy media always comes in threes.
This is a weird statement for them to say, considering how long it took them to make the third game in the Monkey Island series. And in all fairness, it's a 5-game series, although they wouldn't have known that. With some chance even of there being
It's a poster for some dumb book about undead
some
pirates.
full continuation reboot of it. Hanged Smuggle Bunny.
Cloying, yet grisly at the same time. Looks like a Halloween mask.
Alright. So unless we're supposed to use Murray,
I don't think he'd like that. Alas, I can't use Murray with that. Alas, I can't use Murray with that.
or we're supposed to use the crowbar.
I can't use the crowbar with that. I can't use the crowbar with that. I can't use the crowbar with that. I don't think he'd like that. I can't use the crowbar with that.
So unless we're supposed to just crack the wall.
The crowbar won't work on solid stone. I can't use the crowbar with that.
So I'm not 100% sure what we're doing with the crowbar.
I can't use the crowbar with that.
You would think a crowbar would be the thing you'd take the family crest, remove it from. Let's see. Can we just talk through the crack of the wall to this guy?
Hey, mister! Help!
What? Who's there? Who said that? Who's scaring poor old Mort, the gravedigger?
There's been a horrifying mistake. I've been buried alive in the Good Soup family crypt.
All right. This joke has gone far enough. You kids should be ashamed of yourselves.
It's no joke. I'm really trapped in here.
So he's not going to do
Crazy
anything.
Kids with your long hair and your Baroque music? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Let's see. I wouldn't really say that Godzilla movies are horror movies, but okay. I would classify them more as just action / political drama movies.
You must love horror stories to own all these collectibles.
Reading fantastic stories about the dead helps me keep my mind off my work.
Why are you wasting your money on all this bad fiction?
At least my bad fiction doesn't require over $1,000 in hardware.
I see your point.
Wow, did it really cost over $1,000 to play a Monkey Island game? Maybe at the time. But then there was a very long life on PC games. If you had a PC, a lot of the older games felt like they were just as new as the most recent games. So something that would have come out in 1995 versus 1996 versus 1990 all seemed about the same quality, and you would have been so desperate to play games anyways, you wouldn't have complained or even noticed the difference. And I guess in comparison nowadays, if you were to buy an Xbox Series X or like a PlayStation 5 or some brand new console, you probably still would end up spending $500. And then if you wanted like VR, you're going to spend $500 on top of that. So you could easily pay $1,000 to get a decent computer with VR or a decent high-end, not decent, but high-end console.
Let me out of this crypt.
And $1,000 in the old days would have been a lot more money. Really, it would have been closer to $3,000 or $4,000 compared to modern deflated prices.
This isn't a trick. I'm really trapped in this crypt. I drank a special potion that put me into a coma. Thinking I was dead, they buried me in this crypt.
Yeah, right. They did that in the book. Never trade lunches with a corpse. If you kids ever came up with an original idea, I might believe you.
Okay.
I'm gonna go sulk in the darkness now.
Have a good time.
So, can we
It's
read this
called
novel?
The Grog That Drank People. I can't reach.
So we need to be able to read that article,
I can't reach it.
I think.
Well, that can reach the lantern, but it won't grab hold.
Alright, so we've managed to figure out what we were supposed to do. The glue on the skeleton arm with the lantern.
I've got it.
Hey, what happened to the light?
So we got a lantern. What's the point of a lantern?
It's a glowing lantern. Nah. It feels warm.
Unless we're supposed to use this with this. So he has glowing eyes.
Murray, do your stuff.
Okay.
I didn't really think that was going to work that way. I thought I was going to put the lantern inside of him. Inside of Murray. So he glued.
Release me from this wretched tomb. I must be set free, or I will haunt you forever. I will hide your keys beneath the cushions of your upholstered furniture. And never more will you be able to find socks that match.
All right, hang on. I'm coming.
Great work, Murray.
I was terrifying, wasn't I? My demonic powers have made me omnipotent.
Uh-oh. Looks like the lantern ran out of oil.
There, it's open. Now shuffle off and give me peace.
So I guess we'll take
It's
the
useless
lantern.
now that it's out of oil.
Really, is it useless? Because it feels like that would have been really nice to catch the fireflies in, or just use in the in the lighthouse without getting the fireflies. Okay. So we now can leave this area and come back at our own whims. But we only have the crowbar as a new item.
Well, Murray, are you ready to continue our heady adventuring? Murray? Where'd he go?
Alright, so it seems like Murray disappeared. Let's see if this can break into his place.
It's locked tight. I can't use the crowbar with that. I can't use the crowbar with that. I can't use the crowbar with that. I can't use the crowbar with that.
There's a whole bunch of things. Certainly.
I can't use the crowbar with that.
It's just like a really high number of things that you could certainly use a crowbar with.
Hey, what an amazing story I have to tell. I was dead, but I live again. Who
Just
wants
the
to hear about it?
same cutscene again. We didn't
you guys
need
don't
it.
deserve to hear a good story.
Excuse me, sorry, I'm choking on water as I'm playing this game. That's what I'm mostly doing while playing this game, is just drinking water and letting it talk.
I can't use the crowbar with that.
Alright, so the crowbar does not
I can't use
work
the crowbar
here.
with that.
We do have a death certificate now, which I guess maybe can get us some money.
This hereby certifies that Wonton Good Soup met his demise at least once on Blood Island.
So, but this insurance policy...
This entitles the bearer of this document to the sum of a lot of money on the event of the demise of Wonton Good Soup.
Oh, interesting. Why did it automatically change my name on the life insurance policy? So we've solved that puzzle, but I don't know why we need money. So let's give this to Stan.
I'm cashing in this insurance policy. Give me a lot of money.
But this is a life insurance policy. You collect when the policyholder dies.
No, honest. I was dead for a really long time.
And you just got better?
Well, yes.
Do you have any proof of this miracle?
As a matter of fact, smart guy, I've got your proof right here. A death certificate.
Well, this must be some kind of mistake.
It's right there in high-res black and white. I died. Give me a lot of money.
Yep. They're
like I'm
taking
no choice but
quite a
to
while
acquiesce.
to do the
No, just
lines
give
of
me my money.
dialogue.
That's what I mean.
Like,
Oh,
kind of slow. Kind of slow. And I don't know if that's just because they had to slow down the game, or if I'm just being impatient. We haven't been to this beach in a while, but there's kind of nothing here still. Let's see. We have a lot of money. Would this let these guys
No
work
pirate
for
would
me?
just give money away.
We have sticky tar substance. Can we use this with the sticky tar substance?
I can't use the measuring cup with that.
There's kind of nothing here, kind of nothing here, kind of nothing anywhere. I think we are gonna have to just go back to the walkthrough because Nothing really makes sense.
I don't want to buy that. No pirate would just give money away.
We have a lot of money and we have cards, so this feels like this would combine with that at some point. Can we use the cushion with the stump?
I can't use the cushion with that.
Can we use the glue with the
paste
stump?
That.
Can we use the skeleton arm?
Use the skeleton arm
with that? No. That with
this
that.
pie pan won't do any good there.
Still don't have a way of removing the cork. Unless this is removing the cork.
Use the crowbar with that.
We've got an umbrella. He just opens it and closes it. It doesn't even do anything.
I don't think she'd like.
Alright. So, yeah, nothing at the windmill, nothing at the village, nothing at the hotel. So, I don't think we are supposed to go up the crumbling hole.
Well, the hole is too small for me to squeeze through. There's nothing interesting up here anyway.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna be a continuous gag. Unless we're supposed to use this on the plaque.
I can't use the crowbar with that.
We could try to give a bunch of money to her.
No pirate would just give money away.
Okay. It would be nice if there was just a way to pop up what our actual goals are. I mean, we kind of know what the generic goal is, but we don't really know what the long-running idea or the minutia is. We know what the long-term goal is. We want to get the ring and save Elaine, but there should be some sub-goals mentioned here. As far as getting the lantern, the lighthouse to work, or marrying the ghost, or perhaps brewing some soup, or some kind of thing. So that puts me back to just using the walkthrough. So we skipped, we can skip some of this. Use the face in the inventory with the mirror frame and pick up the empty jar on the right. Get the 5 death cards, go to the windmill. Use that, we already did that. Use the chisel on the jar lid. So, apparently, I triggered something here that they just really didn't make obvious. So this tips jar, apparently I can just click that and pick it up now when I couldn't eat before.
That jar's for my tips. Put it back.
But I was gonna put a whole lot of money in it. Too much for me to carry around with me. So I'm gonna have to take it with me and fill it up.
Oh, okay then.
So yeah, apparently that was the solution. And then we have a jar and an empty jar lid. So yeah, how you fix something like that would have been, at a certain point, the game would have had to just said out loud, hey, now I can pick up that tip jar, or I need some kind of jar, or
an empty jar on that stump won't do anything.
If she had, if the game had said,
I can't use the jar with that.
Let's see.
I can't use the measuring cup with that.
I'm supposed to use this with
The
this.
sugar water would attract the fireflies, but there's no way I could catch them.
apparently I have to poke holes in the jar lid first.
There, I poked holes in it.
And then that, maybe with
I don't want to close it yet.
And then maybe now this will
Putting
work.
an empty jar on that stump won't do anything. I can't use the measuring cup with that. The sugar water would attract the fireflies, but there's no way I could catch them. I can't use the measuring cup with that. They won't fly into the jar for no reason.
This is crazy because these two things should mix together.
I can't use the measuring cup with that.
Like it should generally understand what I'm trying to do here and not make it difficult. Alright, so looking at the walkthrough and following. Put the jar of water on the stump. Use the empty jar on the bell for sugar water. What's in this right now?
It's full of sugar water.
It says, put the jar of the water on the stump.
The sugar water would attract the fireflies, but there's no way I could catch them.
It's just not letting me do that. So, and it says I should be able to do that before I even use the chisel with the jar lid. Then apparently I'm supposed to go back and do something else. Because I've been playing this game mostly by myself, without using the walkthrough here is certainly having us do a lot of items that out of order compared to the way I've done it. But so I'm having to scroll back up quite a far away. Yeah, I'm already back to the top of it. It says use the input. Alright, I see what happened here. This is crazy. So, I need to use this with this. Not the measuring cup. And I can't just pour the water from the measuring cup into the jar. And I guess they were trying to make that somewhat obvious by making it a lot later in this act before you could reach this point, and you would have likely gotten the jar before you were able to open this, although still it was completely reasonable that you wouldn't have gotten the jar by the time you'd gotten to the top of the windmill. So you have to have the jar.
Bet that water sure tastes good.
Not the measuring cup. Now you put the jar lid on the fireflies.
They're trapped inside and glowing like mad.
Double click on this, go to the lighthouse. Use this with the mirror.
I can't use the jar with that. I can't use the jar with that. I can't use the jar with that.
Maybe there's only two things here. There's the lens and the mirror. So if that's not the solution, then it's gotta come way over here. And here's another point of contention with having a scrolling scene like this, is that I cannot just double click to transfer through this area. Let's see if this with this fixes the lantern and makes it an item we can interact with again.
I can't use the jar with that. I can't use the jar with that. It's useless now that it's out of oil.
Seriously.
I can't use the umbrella with that. It's full of glowing fireflies.
So that should have been the solution. Something there should have been. Apparently I need to go pick up another mirror. There's 2 mirrors, apparently, in the hotel, instead of just the one. So we're back to the hotel, picking up something that would have been very easy to miss. It's walking completely the wrong direction. It says, go to the lighthouse, use the mirror with the mirror from the hotel. Use the lantern with the lantern post. Go to the beach and talk to the mysterious figure. Alright. We got 1 mirror. And this is just labeled as a mirror frame. And as far as our items are concerned, we definitely don't have a mirror in our items. So is there possibly another mirror?
I can't pick that up.
Let's see. Walk back in this area and in this room and see if there's a mirror. I guarantee there isn't. Is there another mirror?
It's so musty that I don't want to open it up.
Any other mirrors? Yeah, there is no mirror. And then lantern. It says. Use the lantern with the lantern post. Let's see. See, this is confusing because as far as I can tell, it says put the lantern on the coffin lid and use Murray with the lantern. Then there's no bit of instruction here whatsoever that says pick up the lantern again. Like there's nothing in this walkthrough that says something along the lines of, yeah, you're going to need it again, or that you're going to do anything to pick it up again. So unless it's something along the lines of doing like this and
I can't
this,
use the skeleton arm with that.
This and this.
I can't use the umbrella with that. I don't want to lubricate that.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that would act as an oil. I could put that in.
I can't use the measuring cup with that.
See, yeah, this is labeled as a lantern now.
It's full of glowing fireflies.
So, 2 different things are labeled as lantern when a jar of flies or jar o' flies would have been funnier and more in line. So there's got to be something here that I'm not seeing. There's got to be something. Here's the lantern post.
This is where the lighthouse light would go, if it had one. With all these broken windows,
It's just another pixel hunt thing that I don't see. I guess it's supposed to be in there, but they by default have the character standing in the way. So there's a good extra 5 minutes.
The lighthouse is working now.
An extra 5 minutes of wandering around just because I'm looking in the wrong direction. That's annoying. Let's go talk to the mysterious figure and get off this island, and ideally we would lose some items and have just a better experience in the next act. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of success in any of these acts, that they all kind of suck. They're either too short or too easy, or not very much like a point and click adventure at all, or they're extremely long like this act and the second act.
Between here and Skull Island, trapped for so very long.
But also,
in the icy ocean,
it's not just that they're long, they're
how I hate that blasted mist.
too mixed up.
Really? I like Mist. I think it's pretty.
Well, sure, Mist is pretty, but egad, is it dull.
See, this is just a reference to the game Mist, which, in all fairness, if you don't know the solutions to Mist, the first game, or any of its sequels really, you could also be very confused and wander around for quite a bit of time, if not for the rest of your life. Riven, the sequel to Mist in particular, was particularly hard to figure out if you weren't getting help. But that's really no excuse to make a bad point-and-click adventure.
For too long have I rocked in that
Mist is not a point-and-click adventure in my opinion. It's more of a environmental puzzle game.
I'm sure I can make it there safely. I need a compass.
Okay.
How will being able to draw perfect circles get you out to Skull Island?
Not that kind of compass. The directional kind. If you find me one, I'll take you to Skull Island.
So, we have all the elements except for the cork.
I don't want to pin that.
Shaving soap.
I don't think he'd like that.
I never found a way to open this. Maybe this guy would know?
I don't think he'd like that.
Like,
the bottle has a cork in it.
how can we remove a cork when we have found absolutely nothing that looks like a corkscrew? Maybe I'm thinking a little too laterally here. Maybe I just need to smash the bottle. Like, I don't think we really need the item itself.
The bottle has a cork in it.
Right, hammer.
I can't use the mallet with that. I don't want to cut that. I can't use the skeleton arm with that. I can't use the chisel. I can't use the chisel with that.
Let's see. You would think this would be the solution, but it isn't.
I can't use the umbrella with that. I don't want to lubricate that.
I'm trying to think really, really hard how you would uncork something. The bartender might be able to uncork something, so I guess we could see if maybe he can open it. But he really hasn't said that that's his solution or his
I don't think he'd like that.
ability. So once again, before we wrap up this recording, let's see if we can figure out how to solve this. Well, according to the walkthrough, you were supposed to already have the compass. So how were we supposed to have had the compass? Scrolling back down. Combine the pin with the refrigerator magnet, then with the cork. Then combine it with the measuring cup. So pin with
I've
magnet.
already magnetized the pin.
And then this with this.
I don't want to pin that.
Doesn't work.
I don't want to pin that.
It does not work. Let me reread that sentence. Combine the pin with the refrigerator magnet and then the cork. So I would have had the cork out by that point. So how did I get the cork out? Seriously, game. Apparently I got this item in the previous act. But the previous act was not that section. So that doesn't make sense either. It says, combine the pin. Bite the bottle to get the cork. Okay. That's the sentence I'm missing. Insanity. So, bite it to get the cork, which kind of makes sense. But it... Again, no breadcrumbing, no hint system. I'm at least an hour and a half away from the point I should have been able to do that. And then you just get a straight okay response when you do it right.
Hey, neat. It points north. Science is fun when you know the secret.
Right. And what would be funny is if you could use this with those instructions.
To that.
But we don't even have those instructions from the Act 2 anymore. And I seriously doubt they would have meant for you to memorize that. The movements and the instructions on how to control the stage lights. So, yeah, this is same problem over and over again. It just does not feel satisfactory because everything is so difficult, and I wouldn't even call it moon logic. It's not really asking me to do anything that's insanely crazy. It's just not really telling you what they want or
wow, that's incredible.
Or what I should do or focus on immediately, so that there's just tons of things that maybe interact with other things, but since you don't even have that basic short-term goal in front of you, you don't even know what your focus should be. Let's talk to this guy. Get to Skull Island.
Skull Island, please.
All right, let's go.
This probably will be another animated cutscene of something, bringing back the feeling that there was thought to be a, or at least it feels like it was supposed to. They were going to try and pitch it as a directed VHS movie.
This place. Steel your courage, boy, now, before you gaze upon the terrible, horrible face of Skull Island.
That's a duck.
What are you talking about? Don't you see the skull?
This island doesn't look like a skull at all. It looks like a great, big, enormous duck. It should be called Duck Island.
Well, you see, you gotta squint and sort of turn your head and... Ooh, it's just so scary.
That's kind of a funny joke.
Turn your head, it looks like a bunny.
Well, anyway, see that light up there on the cliff face? That's Smuggler's Cave. It's run by King Andre, the greatest smuggler in the world, and his nefarious assistant, Cruff.
But how do I get up there?
You have to go to the top of the cliff.
Won't you be coming with me?
No, you must go alone. There will be someone there who will help you. But I warn you, beware of King Andre. He is as ruthless as he is bald. Good luck.
Thanks.
So, while there was some dialogue there, that wasn't really a lot of... that wasn't a cutscene. I was wrong about that. Maybe that's because we're getting towards the end of the game. Here we have a winch operator and a rickety elevator. And it seems like nothing else. It seems like we're going to spend relatively very little time on Duck/Skull Island. And if I was to guess, we're not going to use any of these items with perhaps the exception of this item. We have now used everything at least once. Sort of. The encyclopedia talks about how to make a compass, and this is the only hint object we've had in the entire game. It would have been nicer if this gave us a hint every time we looked out. I can only make out page
243. A compass is a magnetized bit of metal floating in a solution.
So, had we started the game with an encyclopedia, and then every time you looked at it, it gave you some kind of hint, that would have been great. Yeah, we haven't really used the brochures. We haven't used the umbrellas. We haven't used the tarot cards or the money. And I think maybe we haven't used the crowbar. But yeah, everything else we have used. It'd almost be nice if you could just check off items throughout the game. That would be a slightly different way of doing a point-and-click adventure if you could just click here and put it in the, like, an unfavorited item, and or hide a hidden item, put it at the end of the collection or something, so that you could kind of organize your own box and use your own logic there. In fact, if you could move things around, or had to move things around, a Resident Evil 4 style Tetris piece items to make room, that would be interesting too. Although then you run into the problem of making a point and click adventure game where somebody may have trouble actually holding all the items that they absolutely have to have. So you probably wouldn't want to do the Resident Evil 4 style Tetris item sorting. But dragging and dropping items would be a very easy thing to program by modern standards, and would help you linearly figure out what you're supposed to do. Well, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, we're going to just kind of end with a whimper there. Perhaps with some hope, we will finish this act, and then the next act will be sort of simple, and then the final act, if there is a final act after that, will be sort of simple too, and we can just kind of wrap it up. Still very much missing the writing of the previous two Monkey Island games, and really just kind of doing the same thing over and over again in a worse way. Anyways, that's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment, and watch every second of my videos. If you want a friend or follow me on any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below in the description box. And if you want to support me further, there's a link to Patreon, or you can friend me on Steam and gift me a game off my wishlist. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.